So we now have a competitor. We now have the Armoury strategy from the GSF and the Mule strategy from the Extron forces. Who will prevail this day of only two forces can only build one type unit? Who will win this match? As now the engineer was cleverly managed to put down the smoke signal, now signaling the army to be dropped from Chariot. Chariot is now...
No, Chariot, you bitch!
As Chariot is now decided to come in, as the Mule finally captured, the engineer holding on to his dear life but dies sadly. As now the Armoury about to be dropped, blocking off his only exit to freedom. As now he's gonna be trapped soon if he doesn't get out of there. As he tries his best to shoot down the plane, which is now completely bulletproof. He can't do anything at this point, as he now has to wait for the army to come down.
Look,
then
try hard
destroy it.
players, man. I can't do this. They have players that actually play
As
the
now
game.
the Armoury is placed down, eats at a worse spot,
They
as
have
he doesn't
people playing
even
the game.
block. As the Armoury doesn't even block the... As now Chariot is now with his big brain, tries his best to machine gun an Armoury that is completely proof, only doing 100 damage. Even though he's going to be there for quite some time trying to take down 3,000, so we'll come back to him later. As now we can see we're going to have a head-to-head battle shortly. As now we can see some sneaky stuff happening. As they not realise they're actually near each other, as they try their best to look, as they go around endlessly like a loop-de-loop, wondering which direction they're coming from. But because of the narrator talking, they don't even know which way they're coming from, so they're just constantly missing each other every time.
Look at C. Can someone go to look at C?
God.
As now he's now advised him to check follow the mules. As now he goes in for the close quarter. He goes in for the engagement. It's now turned into Stormtrooper versus Stormtrooper. But finally, the hammer finally managed to get a shot. As he now does his celebration by executing with a laser shot.
Can someone look at C? I do. I'm there.
Meanwhile, another battle's commenced, a pincer movement in action, as now the laser hits his body trying to revive his shield, as now Beetle realizes he's now screwed, as now a horde of mules are now trying to eat him alive. Meanwhile, in Charlie, my god, he is now going overboard to the point now they've made an entire wall of armories to the point you can't even get up there anymore. Because every stairwell is just filled with armories, the point is filled with armories to the point you can't get it without jumping over them.
No, you can't.
As now Tiger is struggling as Tiger's not realised that he's not capturing the objective, as he's still blindly wondering how to get through this armory law, as the engineer keeps constantly dropping an armory on. Meanwhile, we're watching
Get it back here.
Meanwhile, we're watching a man getting hunted down for his life, as he's going to be turned into crispy chicken, as he's trying his best to maser him. But so far he's had enough, as he now runs around like a headless chicken. As he runs about again, unknowing where he's going. He keeps running for his life, as meanwhile the Ace Pilot is trying his best to take down Hammer, but Hammer is now overpowered at this point, as he's now low on health. As he tries his best to run away, two engineers try his best to combat him and distract him. So far they've placed down an armory, trying his best to kill some mules. Meanwhile, the Ace Pilot is still running around like a headless chicken, not knowing what he's doing. So far, Hammer coming in, found where he is. He's now low on health. He goes in for the laser, but he misses. As he now tries his baton, but he calls out for reinforcements. The reinforcements now cut him off, trapping Hammer in the corner. As now he gets his revenge by teabagging him and blowing his head off. As now a friendly officer comes in for the artillery, trying his best to rescue him, but it's already too late. As so far, the Ace Pilot was able to escape unharmed.
That's not thinking what I had. I survived! How? I should have just chicken strategy way!
As now the stairwell is getting blocked. He's trying his best to block off the stairwell.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
What the fuck is this?
As now it's now come to the point you cannot catch up because
I'm building more.
As you can't even get out, as there's now goddamn defensive turrets everywhere, and goddamn, and an officer guarding the location, sniping Hammer, as he now is being a distraction while the other officer come in, as now Hammer gets beaten and Anvil gets to torture him to death, as instead he leaves him to bleed out, and whilst the mule is now quivering and shaking, he runs away. Meanwhile, a mule rush has commenced, trying its best to push down the support crew, as the support crew is unable to even target them because they're so confused. A mule is literally... Oh, God, that's not good. As now a mule just actually sat on one of the support as he comes over, trying his best to kill, but so far the support crew, who's completely dumb, has not even noticed the mules and the officer behind him. He's now just standing there trying his best to shoot at something that does not exist. So far, he is so dumb he doesn't even notice. As the officer comes out and kills all these buddies and comrades, the field support still stands there, wondering what he's going to do with his life. Meanwhile, this officer is trying his best to take out the next lot of support crewmen. As meanwhile, they're trying their best to re-engage him, but they are unsure which cover to take, as they're trying to figure out where he is. So far, that dum-dum from earlier finally actually got killed by the officer, as he actually feels sad and guilty for him. He had to put him out of his misery. Meanwhile, a herd of mules are trying their best to chase down an IV, as it's trying its best to charge it out and trying to do a sneak attack. Meanwhile, the mules have decided to retreat, as they can't take on an IV on his own. So far, the IV is now slaughtering the mule population, as it's now just been cut down by a good old few amount.
Yo, who's spectating, by the way? No
I
one's
am.
spectating? Oh, you know! He knows! He knows!
No, the mules are coming to A!
As now the true battle commences. As it's now Mule versus Armoury, who will win this round, as the few monkeys actually hold the objective.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, look, no one's gonna notice, I'm just gonna...
I saw like a orange outline for a second.
Oh,
and then the B went down. I was like,
be honest, if you didn't see that orange outline, would you have been really confused?
I would have been confused. Like, how the hell did he got through?
How's he
like,
cat? What the fuck is going?
Meanwhile, an engineer snuck up behind Hammer. As he's caught in the middle of a reload, he tries his best, but an officer comes down for that sneaky kill. They do themselves a little bit of slap each other across the face, but so far it looks like Hammer just won that bet of the slap competition right there. As now Beetle is slowly bleeding on the floor, as now Hammer does for a typical satirical teabag. As he now bleeds out to himself, he tries his best to go for the respawn. As a mule now alone, charging in for the ejector, trying its best to get the armory. As now it's making it hard. It's turned into a maze from the amount of armories there. As the other mules are now getting very confused. They are struggling to get through this maze. But only one of them was intelligent enough to get through. But the others are outside the maze, wondering how the hell do we cap this objective. Meanwhile, two engineers are coming out, killing off the mules, as the officer is trying his best to get some more, as another officer comes into the battlefield, coming in, slaughtering them like wild animals. So far, Hammer using the armories to his
Wait, how did we
advantage.
lose C?
I'm gonna call Peter on you.
How did we lose C? No!
As now the mules are winning, as they're overwhelmed, and the armories are blowing themselves up for no apparent reason. But now it's now a 1v1. Who will win? Will it be Hammer or Tiger? Tiger looks like he's struggling, but so far Hammer's coming in for the kill.
No!
Hammer's trying his best to kill him.
Getting
So far Neil
captured!
just saved his life for an extra second, but so far Hammer wants to take the shot. So far he comes in for the execution with his little pin, but instead he's going to let him bleed out, as now Tiger's body just got flopped across the map for unapparent reason. Another officer comes into the fray, as a mule now blocks his step, and an armory unable to get to the objective, as the other officer has not realised who he is. So far Sentry has been placed completely missing everything. So far the Sentry is missing the mule, but got completely eliminated by a grenade launcher. So far Butel trying his best to take on, but he has no choice but to fight back, as the retreat has been cut off. So far it's now turned into a hand-to-hand situation. Who will win this little fight? We are unsure, as we're now watching Beetle coming in for that attack, trying his best to bait him out. So far Hammer is trying his best to fight back, but also doing the exact same strategy of baiting him out so he can shoot the other end. But so far, Ace the pilot sent up some combat drones to help him, and now Hammer's facing a 1v2 situation, as he now gets pinned to the both ends, as he now gets slaughtered, but he managed to drop off an EMP, causing them precious time on their shields. So far the mules at that place are now all going to be slaughtered now for the next couple of minutes. This is not a good day for X-Men, as they did try their best to take down the army strategy, but so far they have lost that battle. but they have not won. They have not lost the war. The extra forces are still winning by 40 points. So far, the GSF have better act up soon, or they will lose the game. As now a mule goes in for a recapture without the officers even knowing, even though they just freshly captured it, they're going to lose the game very shortly. As you can see,
Yes,
so
can you
far
show
they're
my
trying their
armories?
best to kill these mules before they can capture. So far, they're all going in for the capture. If they can at least get it as disabled, they will actually cost the GSF a game. They managed to kill the mule in time, but there's still loads more mules on the map. They need to kill every mule in that balcony, but that's going to cost them a lot of time and resources, because so far the extra forces are able to capture the other two objectives whilst they're too busy at Charlie building more armories and clearing out. As another wave of mules has been spotted coming into the objective, reinforcing Charlie, trying to capture the objective yet again, trying to stop the GSF forces from winning. So far they managed to default, so now it has become a tie. So now it gives them plenty of time to retake Bravo, as now Alpha has just been neutralized. Bravo been captured by the GSF forces. So far they managed to clear out, they're still clearing a horde, we will move out shortly. So far Chariot and Thunder are trying their best to retake Alpha, as now the commander is placing down more armories to block off the objective, as a single engineer is trying his best to hold the line. As now all the armories have been blown out and now finally kills the person who's been building them. So far, one of the other officers is trying his best to go against a massive horde of Marines, as they're coming and hunting him down, trying his best to get him killed. The other extra officer really does not care, because so far he's going to be next on the eating list. So far, a wild tank has appeared of an M33 coming in for that engagement, but the extra forces might win just this round if they can hold down the two objectives for the longest possible. They have literally 17 seconds to hold these points. The GSF forces will win this match. Will not win this match. The extra forces are going to win.
I'm telling you, this is Mule Rush. Oh my god.
Because the Mule Rush is so overpowered that the GSF forces, with their new strategy of a comeback, which is the Armoury defense, is not very effective, but it does have some bright moments. So far, we're down to the last of the last wire. We're actually down to the last 5 points. The GSF will lose this round if they can't capture at least 1 point to block it. But so far, the M33 trying its best to hold, but they can't see the catcher. As we down to the last point, can the GSF lose? Yes, they have lost the match. The point goes to the extra forces, to the Mule Rush.
I guess the mules are.
So, Mules OP?